So we have another crisis in California caused by more lawless conduct by the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and this time it relates to elections. He has imposed a vote by mail mandate statewide that is both in violation of the Constitution and of California state law. We are suing the governor in federal court. We're also suing the Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, at federal court as well, for this mandate. And what the mandate does, it requires all counties to send ballots to everyone on their voting list. Now that requires, and that's not what the law is in California, and our Constitution says legislatures are the ones who make changes to election law. Legislatures. I'll read you the constitutional text. According to the U.S. Constitution, only state legislatures may determine, quote, the time, places, and manner of holding elections for senators or representatives. And only state legislatures may establish the manner in which electors to the Electoral College are appointed. So that's the presidential contest. So Governor Newsom, using the excuse of the coronavirus, has come in and told every county they've got to send in vote by mail ballots, or send out vote ballots to everyone on the list. Now we also allege that the Newsom mandate violates the Voters' Choice Act of 2016, which is a California law. So it wasn't just the Constitution, there's a California state law. It grants counties the option to qualify for and opt in to a system of mail-in voting. We argue the law reflects the legislature's deliberate choice to delegate to each county the decision about whether to qualify and opt in to the all-mail ballot system. During the March 3rd, 2020 primary, which is the most recent one, only 15 of California's 58 counties had opted in and qualified for the all-mail ballot program. If you're going to do it, you got to be able to do it right. That's why there's this process. And now Governor Newsom has blown that up. The lawsuit alleges, and the plaintiffs are voters who happen to be, I believe, like Republican, Democrat, and Independent, so it's a nonpartisan issue. And we also represent Darrell Issa, who is a candidate for Congress. He used to be a congressman, now he's running again for a seat to get back in. The lawsuit alleges plaintiffs will be harmed by Newsom's mandate for an all-mail voting because it imposes an entirely new election system that ignores the extensive qualifications required by California law before a county can opt in to all-mail balloting. Now, Judicial Watch argues that the plaintiffs, our voter clients, will be at risk of having their votes thrown out or diluted under Newsom's illegal system. And of course, Issa will have to spend all sorts of money that he shouldn't have to spend, and additional resources to respond to the illegal mandate as he continues his campaign. So we're now in federal court. It's unconstitutional. It may cause the votes of countless voters to be thrown out or not counted, which is a major, major issue. And California law actually specifically prohibits this, which is blindly mailing out ballots to every registered voter in the state. I mean, of course, it raises the risk of election day chaos and voter fraud. You've seen the stories. Ballots sitting outside postal boxes. We highlighted Los Angeles County tried to do this, and it was a nightmare. It's chaos. And they had opted in. And now he's trying to force all the counties to do it when they're not ready and they don't want to. And the law doesn't allow him to do it on his own. That's the important part. It's a power grab. Forget about the fraud issue. It's a power grab. Now, of course, generally speaking, there's an issue of mailing to registered voters if the voter lists are dirty. We're in the process, because of a settlement we have with Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County is removing up to 1.6 million names on the rolls. A lot of those names are still there. Are they going to be getting these ballots? I don't know. This is why we're suing. That's why our clients are concerned. That's why Darrell Issa is concerned. The left is trying to blow up our elections. See, the president got upset, and rightly so, about the Michigan Secretary of State just mailing absentee ballots to everyone. Or ballot applications, I should say. Mailing ballot applications, absentee ballot applications to everyone. So you can see how that just invites risk. It increases the risk of fraud. Do I have to explain that to you? When you've got a lot of ballots floating around, or applications for ballots floating around in the mail system, the bad guys can take advantage of it. The most secure way to vote is in person. I know they say the coronavirus is scary. No, this was their plan from the beginning. This was their number one priority for the left. Nancy Pelosi's first bill that she introduced when she retook the Congress, in the House at least, was called H.R. 1, and it has all of this in it. Vote by mail, ballot harvesting, ending voter ID, and now they're just using coronavirus as an excuse. So I tell you, I love Judicial Watch. I love Judicial Watch, obviously, because I'm president of Judicial Watch, but I love Judicial Watch is because we're doing so much in this area. So I love it as an American citizen. We have a lawsuit in North Carolina to clean up the rolls, nearly 1 million names there or so. A lawsuit in Pennsylvania to clean up the rolls, new one filed just recently, all done within the last month or so. 800,000 names there. We have this California lawsuit that's trying to stop Governor Newsom from flooding our system with millions of ballots. I mean, it's tens of millions of ballots that would go out under this. It's crazy. And I don't know where the Justice Department is. They're not doing anything. So it's Judicial Watch, once again, doing the heavy lifting on cleaning up elections, making sure that your votes aren't messed with, and that the elections in 2020 are as free from chaos and fraud as we can. But as I said, this is a state-by-state battle. We're trying to do it nationally. It will be more difficult to do it nationally because the Senate, obviously President Trump isn't going to sign anything like that. So they're doing it state by state. And just because your state's run by, quote, Republicans, don't think this won't go on. I don't need to tell you, many of our supporters, that Republicans often do the wrong things when pressed by the left. And the left is going to come in and start screaming about, oh, people shouldn't have to choose between their lives and their votes. It's ridiculous. You can go to Walmart. You can go to the polling place. You can go to a grocery store. You can go to a polling place. I don't know about you, but I think it's a bad idea to throw out voter ID, turn over our election system to the United States Postal Service. I think it's a bad idea. And in many ways, the law doesn't allow it. And in the case of Gavin Newsom, the law clearly doesn't allow what his scheme is, which is to flood the system with tens of millions of ballots by requiring counties to mail ballots. It's crazy. You can't do it. He's not a dictator. Though this coronavirus is turning a lot of these governors into petty dictators. We always have to protect our liberty. We really do.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.